Good morning, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. With great honor and pleasure, I welcome you all to the auspicious occasion of AABN's 147th weekly webinar series. I know time does not stop for anyone, and it takes a lot to take some time out of your busy schedule to be here, and for that, I thank you. But one thing I can assure you is that at the end of the session, the experience you take home will be worth the time you all spared today. Over the past 3 years, we have been able to put together online programs to keep our AABN community not just engaged, but also meet a range of inspiring people who can help shape your ideas and thoughts. The resource person for today's webinar is Sheital Sood, founder, Unveil the Unknown, author, motivational speaker, NLP master practitioner, international life coach. Buddha once enlightened us with this profound truth. But have you ever wondered if you could control what you think and by extension, what you become? The answer is largely yes, but it requires a rollicking ride through the corridors of your mind. In the webinar today, Sheital will help us explore creating systems in our lives to perform better and achieve what matters most to each of us. And fundamental to this is defining who you want to be, then designing and becoming that person. So often the beliefs we accept as reality are not actually reality. They are just excuses. You have let excuses become your reality. Life is not about finding ourselves. It's about becoming ourselves. We can rewire our brains. We can rewrite our view of ourselves. Today, Sheital will help us explore how to build legitimacy in our mind for the way we choose to view ourselves, to specifically design and sculpt our self-identity. It will take a good part of today if I have to run you through all the achievements of this internationally certified life coach, who is the founder, Unveil the Unknown, which prides itself on value creation for business and individuals connected to the business. She believes in making positive impacts, scoring performances for leaders, teams, small entrepreneurs, and large businesses. At a juncture we find ourselves in today, there can be no one more fitting than Sheital to address, enlighten, and take questions from this diverse group on Mind Sutra, shaping thoughts and sculpting identity, an interactive business networking session. Sheital has over 21 years of corporate experience with reputed MNCs, Citibank, Shelters, NIIT, IBM, Daksh, ICICI Home Finance, EXL, DXC, HCL, etc. She had quit her dream job 2 years ago and became an internationally certified life coach in order to fulfill her passion of empowering people to overcome the limiting belief and live their lives to the fullest potential with equanimity. Her credentials include CCE certified and ICF accredited internationally certified life coach, diploma in value education from IGNOU, neuro-linguistic program NLP master practitioner, best NLP life coach awardee from Entrepreneurs Forum of India, diploma in training and development from Indian Society of Training and Development, PGDBA in HR from Symbiosis. She has imparted trainings at Shiv Nada University and Vidya Gyan School under Shiv Nada Foundation in Lucknow, conducted workshops at Motherson, Sumi Infotech and Designs Limited, Trade India, Noida, and at various schools and even residence societies in Delhi to reach people from different walks of life. In order to inspire the world through her story, she authored the book named I Dare, I Wish, Decoding a Secret Subconscious Code, which equips people with the tools of decoding their own subconscious mind and create the life they desire to live. In order to coach people to resolve their personal and professional issues, she has designed a unique subconscious reprogramming framework called Decode and Recode Life, which is an end-to-end solution to all emotional issues in life. She is married to Mr. Deepak Sood, who works with HDFC Bank and has a 16-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. She is also a pet mother to Shih Tzu dog. She finds solace in music and reading self-help books. She is hooked to inspiration and spiritual content on the digital platform and has been practicing the law of attraction since over a decade now. She is a firm believer of the power of the subconscious mind and teaches others to use it effectively. With a personality like Sheital, you can go on and on eulogizing. From a resume, you should understand that this achiever would stop for nothing less than the sky. Yes, Reach for the skies is the vibe she spreads through her talks as well. So I'm not going to make you wait any longer. We'll let Sheital take over and regale you with her astute experiences and fresh ideas. Thank you. Over to you, Sheital.
Thank you so much, Gopi. First of all, I'd like to check if I'm loud and clear.
Yeah, clear.
Okay. And next, I would like to welcome all of you to this session on a Sunday morning. Thank you for taking out time. I would really appreciate if I can see everybody on the screen. So those of you who can switch on their cameras, I know you might be at home and in a very comfortable position, but I would love to see the audience and have an eye contact, really. So thank you so much for those who are switching it on. I'll also start the screen share for a moment because I would love to share some interesting slides during the session. So do let me know when you can see the slides.
We can.
All right. I would also want to actually the chat simultaneously. Second, I would like people to come on the chat and tell me what exactly are you doing for your living right now. So what is it that you're doing? I know we have a mixed bag of entrepreneurs, students, professionals, selling. Suresh says selling, okay. Industrial software service providers, psychologists. Welcome, Prathima. You can actually give some good insights into the topic today. Working as operations head, global trading in paper. Okay. Engineer, Sandeep. Okay. Support engineer. Interesting. Okay, so the topic today is shaping thoughts and sculpting identity. Now, I'll not make it a lecture kind of. I'll want it to be an interactive sessions, though we have said that we'll keep the questions for the end. But yes, as and when we make it engaging, to fill the chat box with all your responses and make it interactive. So can anyone tell me how much do you believe that we have control on shaping our thoughts? And I'm not ignoring your chats, I'm reading that simultaneously, entrepreneur, civil engineer. So how much control people do we have on shaping our thoughts? Is it easy to shape our thoughts? What do you think? Have you tried ever?
No, ma'am.
Difficult.
I have tried, but it is difficult.
It is difficult? Okay. Why do you find it difficult?
They come automatically. No? We cannot control. No? That's
okay. So Surat says that we cannot control our thoughts. And the topic today is that we can shape our thoughts. So that's an interesting thing that we learned today. How do we really shape our thoughts? And when it comes to sculpting identity, do you think you have formed your own identity? Have you sculpted it yourself? Anybody? Suresh writes, no control, it keeps moving from one situation to another. Yes, Sandeep says no. Okay. Others shape our thought. Yes, Vishwana. Fatima says yes, no. I know. Okay.
no.
So when we say that we can shape our thoughts and we can sculpt our identity, that's what today's topic is about. To learn how do we do that, to learn how does our brain perceive the world, and to learn, that there is a power within us, which is called the power of subconscious mind. Do we all know that we have two kinds of minds, which is one is conscious and one is subconscious? How many of us know that? With a show of hands, do we know that? Yes, great. So what exactly do we mean by that? So what exactly do we mean by a subconscious mind and a conscious mind? Just scribble something on the chat box quickly. What do you understand by these two terms, conscious and subconscious mind? And Gopi, just let me check with you. It's all English. I hope you're not expecting Hindi on the call. Or should I make it a mix? Only English. Okay. Subconscious is uncontrolled. Well said. We call it, okay, knowingly and unknowingly. Mind voice. Subconscious is personality. Conscious is source. Okay. Conscious is based on environment and subconscious is inner thought. Logical versus instinctive. Wonderful. So conscious is right now and subconscious records the experience and information. I have an intelligent audience today. So you're giving actually the right answers. So when it comes to the subconscious and the conscious mind, that's the difference that you see, in this iceberg model. Iceberg is an exact and I think an apt example of depicting about the power of mind, because world sees just the 5% of how we are behaving, and that's actually the 5% of how we think we are living the life. That's conscious mind, our thoughts, our logical thinking, critical thinking, problem solving, etc. But when it comes to subconscious mind, it's 95% under the water surface, which means you might not have control over it unless and until you put a conscious effort to it. So what's interesting to know is that even in order to tune that or train your subconscious mind, you have to put in a conscious effort. That's the interesting part, because subconscious has already been formed, and the power of subconscious mind is 30,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. So that's even more interesting, that if we are living our life just because we think that's the way we need to, it doesn't work like that. Let me just set my screen one second. Yeah. So how many of you would want to learn how to stop your past to adversely affect your future? Anyone interested? With a show of hands, anyone interested? Not all of you? See, if you think that your subconscious mind has controlled you so far and you were either aware or unaware of it, but now is the time that you take charge of it, you sculpt your identity, you shape your thoughts, then you need to learn how to stop that past from adversely affecting your future, isn't it? Because if you continue in that manner, all those patterns, the beliefs that you've shaped already, there are beliefs given from the external world that we are living right now. We never question them. It can be stopped and we can really live the life that we want to live and which is at par with society norms. So tell me again, do you want to see a demo on how can we change our thoughts? Shall I show you a demo? A thumbs up? Okay, a heart. Thank you, Vijay. All right. So I'll do a small activity with all of you, and let me know what meaning do you derive from this activity. So I'll show you an image here, and that's a small circle with a thin line below it, and let me call it a plant for you. Are we okay? We call it a plant. So if this one single image or a picture is a plant, then I would call this one, a little bigger one, a tree. Make sense? This would be a tree. If this is a tree, I would call this one a garden. Let's say a garden. Now that's the information I have given you. I'll now change the information and I'm going to ask you questions. So be on the chat. So if this is the next one, let's say this is a child. If I'm saying this image is of a child, it represents a child, then what would this be? A man. Ram says a man. And what would this be? Adult. Okay, man. That was the second one. What about the third one? A family. Badri. Okay. Yes, Vijay. Suresh. So all of you are right. It's a family. Now, what has just happened on this slide? Can anybody explain? You can go, you can unmute yourself and tell me, what do you understand from this? Who would like to give it a try?
talks about the growth or development.
Growth or development. Okay, interesting. What else?
We think in the manner you are showing the pattern of thinking is like
Pattern of thinking is there. Okay. Illusion of different people, change of perception based on input, logical comparison. Okay. What else? Anybody would like to unmute and speak? What are we doing here? And the title says, can we change our thoughts? Now tell me.
It's a natural progression, Sheital, I guess.
It's a natural progression of what?
It's a natural progression of life.
Life. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's natural progression of a thinking process.
Okay, Chandra, I take that. Yes. So what's happening here? Sorry, Suraj, you want to speak?
yeah, but we have been whatever we have been imaging according to your instructions, not what we can.
Well said, Suraj. It's the instruction that I gave. So you could only perceive the information the way it was told to you. What this slide actually represents is that the data, the information which is available, even in today's world, the internet world, the global world, the digital world that we are in, the data we process could be different, and it could mean different things to different people. Now, all of you were giving me different answers on how you perceive this slide. Somebody is saying it's a natural progression of life. I did not think it that way, to be honest. I had something else to project, but that's an interesting input. So what we process in our mind is our perception. So we do use information to change the way we think. And most of that happens subconsciously. Because I said, a child, an adult, and a family. So you saw life in it. I said a plant, a tree and a garden, you saw life in it. And when I say this was the information, so you perceived it as a garden. This was the information, you perceived it as a family. That means our input can change our output. Are you with me? Do you agree? Our input can change the output. Yes or no? Yes. So if the input can change our output, isn't it the right time to actually take audit of our own perceptions, because they become our reality? The perceptions become our reality. I'd like to, read a quote from Bhagavad Gita from the chapter 3, verse 35. It says, it is better to live your own destiny imperfectly than to live an imitation of somebody else's life with perfection. I'll say that again. It is better to live your own destiny imperfectly than to live an imitation of somebody else's life with perfection. So be yourself. Do what you want to do and create and sculpt your own identity. Because, our identity is wrapped in something we think others think of us. We don't perceive ourselves as who we are. We perceive ourselves of what we think others think who we are. That's how life is. Now, let me show you an interesting image. So tell me from this image, what can you describe? What all do you see in this image? Anyone? Okay, let's put it on the chat. Malik says, change your thoughts and you can change the world. And that's what we are here for. Okay. Horse, okay. What else? Perceptions are society driven. I read that. Could you describe this picture to me? How would you narrate or describe? On the face of it, what do you see? A hopeful journey, Ram says. Well, I have really a clever audience and everyone's pointing towards the faces, which is not actually the prominent part of the image. The image has, horses, men, some rocks, some pebbles, some trees. You're not naming them, but yes, what you're naming are the faces. That's what you're naming. That's what is the beauty of our mind. It can think differently, it can watch differently, it can absorb the information differently. So many of you have written, hidden faces, road not taken, diversion, etc., and other inputs are also coming in. Thank you so much for sharing those inputs. So what I'm trying to, drive home a point here is that How you see the world depends on what information can you process. When I say can, it means you can only process the information by what you have learned in the past, your knowledge, your events, your past experiences, your references, and your beliefs and values. These are the things that are shaping your perception. Now, some of you might be, too early in your career and yet to make a living or finalizing a career. Some of you are tenured or, experienced a lot and already know what goals you wanted to achieve and might have achieved that. But I want to touch upon something that might benefit all of you. And that's a topic which will tell us how do we actually perceive the world? And how do we create interest in something that we want to aspire for or the goals that we want to achieve? Now, what are those factors that create our life's blueprint? Any inputs on the chat box? What do you think are the factors that creates the life's blueprint? Take a guess. Thoughts, people around us, experience, imagination, environment, personality, values. Okay. Well, all of that is just what I said on the previous slide because that makes your perception. And what creates a blueprint is how strong that perception has been formed. How strong are those images in our mind? So let me share with you the factors. Are we ready to hear? Do we want to hear? Yes? Okay. So the factors that really create the life's blueprint are 5 factors. And first one is whenever we see things in colors, anything that's in color, you give a colored toy to a child and the child quickly gets attracted towards it. So the colors actually grab our attention and interest. So if you want to visualize a goal, that visual has to be colorful. Secondly, it should have a sound in it. Can you ever give a normal toy to a child and expect the child just to laugh and giggle? Maybe when you give a rattle that makes sound or a musical toy, you would see the child smiling, playing with you. And we all have a childlike mind within us. So we all would get attracted to sound. How much can we watch a silent movie? For how long? Or for how many days? We would want to watch a movie with sound. So sound grabs our attention. Third thing is uniqueness. Just like this butterfly, which is not in blue color, would actually catch our attention. So anything that is unique will grab our attention. So for example, you go to work and you're driving on the road. And suddenly you see a golden car. All day long, that golden color car will play in your head because that was unique. That's something unexpected. So that's how our brain captures and grabs attention. It gives attention to objects or things which are unusual, unique. So whenever you visualize your goals, it's for those who are still dreaming and still want to achieve the goals. Visualize your goals in colorful pictures, bright and bold, with a lot of sound. Now, what kind of sound they could be? Sounds of achievement, sounds of people clapping that you've achieved it, sounds of congratulations and those messages. And uniqueness would be something that only you could do, something that's only personal to you. Fourth is association, which is the I factor. When we say I factor, just like an example in this image, whenever you look at a photo album, a family photo album, where does your mind go? On the chat now, where does your mind go? Whenever you're seeing a photo album, to that situation. Okay, Suresh, where else? Past, because these are past memories. What else? My image, Shiva Kumar, bang on, bullseye. So yes, my image, because it's me that I associate in that group. I definitely know the others, but am I looking good in this, selfie world? Whatever we do, when we click pictures, we'll see, am I looking good or bad? If not, if it's not a picture perfect, Let's click it again. So where is our mind driven? The mind is actually focused and attentive towards me. So does your goal actually have you in that image? Do you actually visualize and idolize yourself achieving it? If not, please bring your image into that. Say, for example, if I ask you, who is a rich person? Please give me in the chat response. Who is a rich person according to you? Any person who is rich around you? Any names you would like to share? Any rich personality? Warren Buffett? Okay, whoever is happy. Happiness definitely is one of the treasures. Gopi, Mukesh Ambani. Okay. Ram says myself. Now that's what I'm pointing you towards. If you can't imagine yourself as a rich person, then the goal is too far, because you have to bring your image. You have to associate with your goals with that I factor. And last but not the least, the fifth aspect is a movement in your images, in your goals, in the thoughts that you are perceiving towards your outcome. So yes, good one, Ram. Movie, I'll share an example. All of those who are married, people who are married, if you recall your marriage, do you recall your marriage as a set of photographs, or is it a movie playing in your head, different frames, changing? How do you visualize your marriage? Is it a movie, or are they still images? And let's still be on camera. I'm still not away from you from the Zoom. I would like to see you. How do you visualize your marriage? Movie, yes, Vijaya, because it would never appear as still frames. It would always be one moment after the other. This was happening, then this was happening, then this was happening. All of that is a movement. So do you visualize your goals in a movement? Or you just think, oh, this is what I want to achieve, and the law of attraction isn't working? Have you heard of this term, law of attraction? Anyone? Do we know what it is? Yes, no, maybe? On the chat. I hope everyone's awake. Yes, Chandra says, Sandeep says no. Well, interesting that you would love to, you might love to explore this science. I would call it a science because just like the law of gravity is for real, even if you consciously pay attention to it or not, law of attraction is as real as that. What you think is what happens to you, because your thoughts becomes your words becomes your actions and feelings, in turn, and that defines your destiny. So law of attraction is like attract like. If you're thinking on those positive thoughts, you'll have people and experiences around you accordingly. And that goes for negative also. So whenever you think about your goals, it has to have all these 5 factors. Give those goals some good colors, some sound, some uniqueness, and bring yourself in. And how does that actually create a blueprint? Because all of this you're perceiving through the modalities of the 5 senses. These are the 5 senses that we use. We hear, we see, we smell, we taste, and we touch. Now, the smell and the taste is still a little, not so dominant most of the times, but the other 3, the visual, auditory, and the kinesthetic, is very prominent. And there are qualities attached to that also. When I said colored image, bright and bold. When I say sound, loud and clear. So those qualities also create a blueprint. All the life. These are the 5 senses and the prominent 3 senses that gave those images in your head. These are stored in your memory, and that memory bank is full of what now is your blueprint. Now, what happens when this blueprint is formed? These 5 senses create your mental state. What is a state? Who would tell me what is a state? On the chat. Mood. There is a difference between a state and a mood, but yes, I'll take that. What else? A condition, what we think, a mental perception, okay. A particular condition that someone or something is in at a specific time, absolutely. Response, present being Pratima is right. So what is a state in Textual language, if I were to put it, it's a sum total of our neuro and physiological process at a given point in time, means how we are thinking and how we are behaving. What's our body language? So it's a way of being in the moment, as Pratima said, present moment. That's our state. So it's a sum total of our thoughts, emotions, and physical energy. So when you have some thoughts, good or bad, you are giving those, living those emotions, and accordingly, your physical energy gets either low or high. You're emitting those vibrations. These are the qualities of those visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. I don't want you to read it in totality, but yes, keep that in mind that whenever you want to shape your thoughts, the topic is shaping your thoughts. Your thoughts have to be shaped on these three parameters. Their visuals of those thoughts should be strong with these qualities. The audio should be strong with these qualities. The feelings attached to that thought should be strong. And for people who interact a lot with other humans, other human beings in the artificial intelligent world, would use different types of statements. I'll pick up one or two here. Visual submodalities. Don't you say people saying, look at the big picture? When you say people saying, look at the big picture, it means that person is visual. Say, for example, you have employees. We have entrepreneurs in the group here. You have employees, and you tell your employee, look at the big picture. See, what I'm trying to show you. But the employee is not predominantly visual. The employee is predominantly auditory. The employee may or may not, capture that message the way you want him or her to. So it's good to observe the other person's modalities. Are they visual? Are they auditory? Are they kinesthetic individuals? And speak in their language to be able to connect with them. So if I talk to somebody and I, like the way I started the session, am I loud and clear, was just to check the audio. But am I auditory? May not be. So over a period of time, you will realize through the language, through the behavior, and many other things that whether a person is visual predominantly, auditory, or kinesthetic. So if I say, that sounds great, that's a auditory command. If I say, this concert is really hot, now that's a kinesthetic command. All the people who are going through, let's say, anxiety, or whenever you are in stress, there's a certain emotion in your body, and there are certain sensations that you feel. You could go cold, you could go hot on your face if you're in, anger. So all of those qualities are kinesthetic qualities. Why I'm bringing this point up is because you need to understand that three things, if one of them that is dominant within you, that could be dominant in the other person's, identity also. So talk to people in the language that they would understand. Is it making sense? Any doubts, any questions so far? You can put it on the chat. We'll take bigger questions at the end. I hope it's making sense, people. A feedback, please. Is it making sense? Yes. Are you enjoying it? Is it worth listening to? Absolutely, says Chandra. Thank you. Okay, I'll continue then. Yes, okay, so many yeses. Thank you for encouraging me. Thank you. And let's move ahead. So no questions so far I see on the chat. Let's move ahead. Now, I did give, in the agenda of today's session that we will be talking about knowing our own identity. Knowing our own identity is when we say that, yeah, life is okay. Tell me, for you, if I ask you this question, how is life? Or is there any area of life that you're struggling in? Which area would you write down? I'll not go into the details, so not interested in personal, problems, but just overall, which area of your life do you want to improve on? Or you want to scale it up? In the chat, which area of your life do you want to scale up, become better? When I say area of life, it could be career, it could be your wealth, your possession, your friend circle, your fun and leisure, it could be your relationships, it could be your learning and growth. Okay, prosperity thinking, wealth, own version, fitness. Yes, these are the areas people do want to be better in, becoming more passionate. Now, that could be passionate towards a relationship, towards your goals, towards your wealth mindset. Stop thinking of what others thinking about me. That's a tricky one because people take time to master that, Sandeep, but that's doable. Career, okay. So take, I'll take you through an activity if you're all interested. I'll take you through this activity where I'll narrate a scene to you. So the activity is that I'll narrate a scene to you. All you have to do is close your eyes and visualize that scene. At the end, I'll ask you about what you visualized. So remember what you did, and then I'll debrief as what does that imply. Are we game for it, everyone? I'll stop the screen sharing so that I can see you. Are we game for it? Not many people on the camera. Come on. Let's turn on your cameras. Are we interested in playing this game, the Know Your Identity game? How many of us are interested? No thumbs up, no show of hands. Shall I move on to the next topic then? Pratima is. Thank you, Pratima. Okay, on the chat I see 3 people saying all around progression. Interested. Okay. Okay, if you are, in the interest of time, I'll move ahead and we'll do this activity. All of you, make sure that you're not in the kitchen driving or, not at a place where you can't close your eyes or concentrate. So be comfortable, be in a comfortable position so that you can concentrate and close your eyes and visualize for some time. It's a short one, but it's a powerful tool. It's a deep tool. So let's all close our eyes. So this tool will help you discover what drives you to do what you do. So I'll take you through this activity. So imagine, close your eyes, everyone, close your eyes and imagine that you're walking down the road and you come across a path, an alleyway, and it has 2 walls on each side. You go down that pathway and you come across a wall. Imagine the wall, the height of the wall that's in front of you. See how high it is. Is it low, medium, or high? Is it till your knees, your chest, or above your head? Look at that wall. Once again, close your eyes and visualize that you're walking down the road and you come across a path, which is an alleyway with 2 walls on each side, and in front you hit another wall. You come across a wall. Look at the size of the wall. And now you need to go over the wall. Forget about the height of the wall, but you have to go over the wall. So you jump over the wall, you go over the wall. Visualize, how do you go over the wall? Could be different for all of you. How are you going over the wall? And now you move ahead. Let's assume that you've finally managed to get over the wall, and now you continue walking down the road. Now you've come across a water body. So what kind of water body do you imagine? Also in your head, describe the water body in your mind to yourself. How is it looking? Is it a raging or a calm water body? Think about the water body that you can visualize right now. Now you have to go and get across that water body. So how do you get across that water body? Think about that. Get across that water body. Now you go to the other side of the water body. You have crossed it, and now you're walking on this beautiful grass. As you're walking towards on the grass, in the distance, you see a jungle. Now it's at the distance. So how does the jungle appear from distance? Visualize that. How does that jungle appear from the distance? Now you go towards the jungle a little closer The jungle is right in front of you. You have to get inside the jungle. Now, how do you manage your way inside the jungle? Remember all these hows. How do you manage your way inside the jungle? Now you're inside the jungle. You're inside the jungle. How does the jungle around you feel? How are the surroundings? Visualize the surroundings around you. Now, as you're walking through the jungle, you come across a pathway. On that pathway, there is a key. Now, describe that key to yourself. How does that key look like? Describe that key. And you continue walking down the pathway, you come across a house. What kind of house do you imagine? Is it a big house, small cottage? Whatever details you want to think about, there a chimney or not? What else do you see around the house? Are there any animals or not? And now you go to the front door and take the key that you found on the pathway, take that key out that you found earlier, and that key actually fits into the door, and you open the house and enter. Now, if you would love to have one person to be there in that house at that time, someone you know, who would that person be? Visualize that person with you. And slowly open your eyes. Did we all do this activity so far? We'll debrief as to what does that imply. Arun is giving me a thumbs up. Okay, Arun, thank you. What about others? Doable? Yes, Vishwanath, thank you. Everyone now do have a memory of whatever you visualize. How many of you want a debrief on what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? Are you interested in decoding your own visuals? Yes, I see the chat box flooding now. Yes, okay. Let's look at the meaning, and I'll read that out to you. Let me read that out to you. All of you actually started with an alley, 2 walls on the side, but then you hit a wall. One of you can either volunteer to describe your own visual, or you can do it together also. If you saw a really high wall in front of you, it means that you look at life with absolute struggle. The life is complicated and hard. For those who actually saw a high wall. Now, if the wall is small and you just step over it, it means life is a breeze. It's simple. And if it's a medium wall, I cover all of that. If it's a medium wall and you cross it, it means life is slightly challenging, but you manage to work your way through. And if the wall is too high that you can't get over it, though I said assume you have, but some people might have got a huge high wall, it means you give up too quickly in life. Is it making sense? Yeah? Can I ask one of you to share with me what kind of wall did you see? You can unmute and tell me.
Can I share? This is Pratima.
Pratima, yes, go on. And I would love to see you, Pratima, if you can.
Sure, definitely. I was not in a position to. People...
Okay, be comfortable. All your call.
Yeah.
Your call.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you see me now? Hey.
I can. Thank you for switching on the camera. No. So, how high was your wall?
It was so high that I couldn't reach it, but I could find a ladder, and then I could find a slider. Both.
You could find a slider and a ladder.
It became so easy for me to just go up and then slide down. And I did not find any difficulty, and I don't know why, but I could just see the high wall in front of me.
So Pratima, the high wall was representing that, there are huge or difficulties or challenges in your life. However, the ladder that you found makes it easier for you to not give up quickly. So do you identify yourself as that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the high wall definitely tells me that you do face challenges, and they're bigger and closer to you, on your mental screen, because we all have a mental map of our own world, our own reality. Everyone's map is different, I'm sure. I'll read this comment from Chandra. He says, I sat on the wall and lifted my legs, put other side and crossed. See, that's the height of the wall. So everyone's wall would be different. So let me quickly move forward and tell you the meaning of the other visuals that you saw. So for those who's the height of the wall, you got different meanings. Think about how is your life really like that? Do you really perceive your life like that? Next was the water body. We all saw a water body. Now I said, imagine what kind of water body it is. Well, the water body actually signifies your personal life, relationships. So if you saw a pond or a puddle, then you need to add great amount of drive and passion to yourself, people around you, people you interact with. And if you saw a raging river, it means you have an amazing, passionate relationship. You're living the life with full spark. But if you saw a calm river, a very calm river, then again, you need to add more spice to your relationships. It could be any, I'm not talking about just intimate relationships, any kind of relationship. And if it was an ocean, I'm sure some of you might have, if you saw an ocean, that also signifies a passionate, loving, and a harmonious relationship. So that's what a water body signifies.
So,
So,
can I ask you something in between?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If it is a violent river or something like, the waves are hitting off, so what does that it mean? Like,
see, water body is about passionate relationships. So that means the passion is still there. Now you think about yourself. Do you agree with it or not about your any kind of relationship?
okay.
Yeah. So if there is enough passion in it, that's why it's, so many waves and it's full of life, not like just a dead thing. It's full of energy. So the relationships are full of energy, or at
So
least
it's a river.
you experience it that way. It's your perception for sure. Yeah. Quickly, we'll move on to the next one. That's a jungle. So from a distance, if you saw a dense jungle, it means your outlook for future generally is that life is tough because it's a dense jungle. Pata nahi, you might say that I may or may not make my way through it. But when you come to the edge of the jungle and you enter easily, it means that when you faced with challenges, you go through it without any problems. So you make your way. You do face challenges, but you make your way. And if you have to fight your way to enter the jungle, it means you still have the determination when faced with a challenge. You still have that determination. And when you walk in, I said, look at the environment around you. If that environment seems too dark, gloomy, it means your current environment, your current friends, your people around you need to change. Because it's a dark environment that you might have visualized. And if there's a lot of light coming in, you can see through the jungle, right to the other environment, to the other corner, to the other end. It means you have clarity and purpose. And you're also a long-term thinker because you could see that far, the other end of the jungle, the way you have to cross. So you're a long-term thinker. And if you can't see farther than a small distance, it means you're not thinking about the future. Even your immediate future is not clear to you. You are stuck in your current environment. Is it making sense? Is it making sense? Show of hands, thumbs up. Yeah? Are you able to relate to what you saw and what's its interpretation? Yes, thank you, Sandeep. Okay. Moving ahead, I talked about a key. Thank you, Gopi. So we talked about a key that if you found that key, I don't know how many of you actually picked it up, in your imagination. Some of you might just have walked away, but most of you might have picked it up. Now imagine the size of the key. Did you find that it was a large key? If you found it as a large key, it means you're a very ambitious person. You want to make a lot of money. And if you put the key down, it means you're more into contribution rather than making money. Oh, I did see a key. I picked it up, but it doesn't belong to me. Let me put it back. Some of you might have been like that. So you might be a contributor to the society. You're not so ambitious for your own, money mindset. It could mean that. Now, when there was a mention about the house, if you saw a big house, it means you have thoughts of lavishness. You're more into materialism. If you saw a small cottage, then you might not be interested in a lavish lifestyle, but a simple one, a decent one. And some of you, if you might have saw a smoking chimney on top of your house, then that means that you're extremely ambitious. Somehow chimney represents that. You're extremely ambitious because you're already thinking something's cooking inside. And the person in the house, no points for guessing, when you entered the house using the key, the person you saw there or the person you thought of is the person you love the most in your life. That's the person you love the most because you want that person. That's the person who came to your mind. Now, what does it mean, people? All the things that we hear, we see, and we feel since our childhood, everything that we experience since our childhood has a profound effect on our mindset, on our thinking. And this is how our thoughts and beliefs are formed. We look the life through those filters. Some of us have strongest filters, that those are our beliefs and thoughts. So look at your life right now, do an assessment, take an audit of these water bodies, these jungle, these lights, these environment, your friend circle. How accurately do you know about your own belief system? Can you really tell the background behind the decisions that you take? Are you a good decision maker? Do you really know what should your decisions be based upon, and things like that? But before you take any step towards building an amazing future, be aware of your own mindset, your own thoughts, and where do you stand today? What's your identity today? That's why I used this tool to bring just a awareness about where you are. So are we clear? Any questions? I'll cover one more topic if Gopi allows.
Ma'am, can I come in?
Yes, Ajay.
Yeah, what I felt is when I opened the key and entered the room, I mean the small cottage only for me, I felt nobody is there. That means I am loving myself, no?
So when I
felt
asked,
I'm
think
there,
of a
that's it.
person, when I give an instruction, Ajay, that think of a person, then
I'm not
also...
getting it, ma'am. I'm
You're
not
not.
getting it. I was thinking, no, I was alone.
You were
So
alone
what does
because...
that personifies?
To me, it says that you are again coming from the perception of your beliefs that I walked in the jungle alone, so how can I expect somebody else there? So
Oh,
our
maybe.
current reality is based
Huh.
on our own experiences and beliefs from the past. You believe that you walked in alone. And therefore, you couldn't imagine anything.
Maybe it is locked, ma'am. Ma'am, maybe it is locked. I'm opening in, but I'm assuming that nobody will be there because it is locked.
And did you use the key then? Did you pick up the key, Ajay?
Yeah. I just used the key, ma'am. It was a small key. I just used it, opened it, and entered inside. It was empty. What
Okay.
I felt, I did not see any items in the house. It was bare. I mean, completely empty.
Okay.
So I saw a house which may be isolated.
So what does that mean to you, Ajay? What comes to your mind when you describe this situation?
Maybe I enjoy loneliness. I enjoy it because you went through me jungle, all these things. So I was in that state. Oh, I'm enjoying some different world where I have to be alone, be away from this busy world, complex materialistic world. Maybe all these things is coming to me now.
So Ajay, can I ask you a personal question? Are you currently feeling lonely in your life? If you would like to share.
No, I am very social. I am very social, ma'am. I move along with everyone.
Okay. In that case, it could... Go on, sorry. Go on.
Maybe with the busy schedule, because we'll be busy all through the full week from the office. So coming back Sunday, I always go to the nature and then sit alone and enjoy that one, because that may be the diversion. The same thing might have come to me actually.
Absolutely, that is because you're using that moment as a stress buster. That's a relaxed moment for you. You want to be with yourself, and that's solitude, isn't it? That's solitude because you want to be with yourself, and it feels very meditative, to be honest, Ajay. It's not necessary to actually have a person in that house, but if you do, if you actually see one, that's the one you love the most, is what it signifies. But if you don't see any, that means you want to spend some time alone from the, away from the chaos of the world. Does that make sense?
Maybe, ma'am. Maybe, ma'am. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, ma'am. It was a nice experience.
Nice. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you. And you're spending your time with nature, not alone. So yeah, you kind of rejuvenating. We have to revitalize, rejuvenate ourselves to be able to, like in our business world, be productive. How do we be productive? by taking rest or also by taking breaks also. So we polish we actually re-energize ourselves. Now quickly moving on to, I hope there are no other questions, so I'll move on to one more topic, and that's about the human critical needs. Now, Ajay's question also leads to the kind of needs we all have. What kind of needs do we live with, and what kind of needs are prominent in our lives? So, all of us definitely have assessed through this activity, how our wheel of life looks like. When I said these are the things, you might want to improve upon, you could give a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, that this is how, my current life looks like. But for the life to run smoothly, the wheel has to be a round circle. The more you stretch, the more you improve upon the numbers which are low, and this is just an example, the more balanced your journey of life would be. So this assessment tells you how does your wheel look like, Now talking about the 6 critical human needs. These are the 6 critical needs, from psychology, and it talks about 6 things. 4 are the personality needs, the needs of being, in a certain position, being certain in life, assurance, security. The second need is variety, which means you might not want to stick to one thing. You might want to experiment different things. You maybe different food, different, new friends, new jobs, new kind of work that you do. And then there is a need of significance. How much important do you feel in life? How much unique, special, or needed do you feel in life? And there is a need of love and connection for all of us. A strong feeling of closeness with somebody or something. You're really belonging to that thing in particular. Like in communities, we belong ourselves to a particular community, a religion, a particular cause for that matter. Then there are 2 spiritual needs, which are growth and contribution. Growth is our own expansion. How much can we expand? What's our capacity? Am I living to my best potential? Am I actually unleashing my capability or not? And am I contributing back to the society? Now, the entrepreneurs in the room do definitely have somewhere in their heart or head, or might already be doing some kind of social contribution towards a particular cause. It could be a donation to a particular, let's say, a blind school, an orphanage, an old age home, for lungers, like the food and whatnot. It could be any cause that you are contributing towards clothes or etc. So when all of us have these needs in particular, there is definitely 1 or 2 which are the predominant ones. Now, just give it a glance. I'll not read it verbatim. We're short of time, I understand. So these are the things that becomes important to you. For example, if somebody let's say your employee comes and pampers you with a compliment and say, boss, I'm really happy that you thought of us, you arranged, let's say, a clean water supply in the office or in the factory, or you arranged for a clean toilet, a hygienic place to be in, you maintain cleanliness, whatever. They're complimenting you. What is it actually polishing? It's polishing, it's grooming, or it's satisfying your significance, the attribute of significance, the need of significance. You feel important that, yes, whatever I work towards really is making a difference. Now, if you want to identify your core need, which one amongst these 6 do you really live by, then assess. If you're trustworthy, if you always do what you say, if you enjoy planning, thriving, and you're very organized, let's say, you're on your schedule, then you want to be certain. You avoid pain and you seek pleasure. You want a stable life. You'll not experiment much with your jobs or your businesses or your career. You will be stable. You are a person who seeks certainty, but then you will not experiment much. So that will be a negative side or a drawback maybe. People who loves variety, it's an opposite of certainty. We can call it uncertainty. These are people who love meeting new people, doing new things, experimenting with new things, but then they are not good planners because they'll be impromptu, they'll be enthusiastic, and they'll do away with the old stuff easily, and they'll just jump on to the new things easily because that brings more excitement in their life. So think if you're like that. And some of us definitely look forward to significance. You're highly driven when you feel important, when you feel unique, when you are reaching for your goals. And then you committed to a cause, maybe several causes, and you can be overly competitive, perfectionist, or dramatic because it's then more centered towards you and your, satisfying and polishing your own self-image or ego. Ego is not always bad. So pampering your ego. For those who are driven by love and connection, will always have these two things as their top values. Now, most of us don't even know our values. The courses that we offer and I take people through during my life coaching sessions, the primary and the foundational thing we do is letting people know what their baselines are, which are the core values that you cannot do without. You live by those values. So when you have love and connection as your strong value, you will keep others first. You will always think about the people that you love. When it's about growth, it's always about learning. It's always about grooming your skills, doing and learning something new. And when it's about contribution, you just can't do away with helping people. You definitely are so empathetic. You're so compassionate. So one of this is your primary quality. So identify that core need. And all of these needs can be fulfilled by doing what these needs tell you to do. Any questions? Does that make sense? Yeah. Anybody who was able to identify their core need and would like to share? Anyone?
Can it be a combination of all these things?
Yes, it can be. Yes, Vishwanath, it can be a combination. And you are the only right person to actually judge what kind of combination it is. Because that works for you. You definitely can't ask others, what do you think I am? How do you think, I'm driven? It's only you, your inner instinct that will guide you. You could be a combination of 2 or 3 or even all of them. But there's one that primarily drives you. For me, it's contribution. And the reason I say this, I can prove that is because I worked for 21 years in the corporate and I left my job 2 years ago just because this need of contribution was so high within me that I wanted to do what I'm doing now. I wanted to give it back to the society to help people and impact lives. So that need helped me make a decision in life. Why is this slide important to you? Why did I bring it up? Because I want you to understand your decisions would be around these needs. Your decisions, your primary decisions you've taken in life would have been driven by one of these needs, and that will help you assess what your core need is. Make sense? Yes, Ajay.
Yeah, but I feel, ma'am, because that changes with time, no? Because today I'm like this, because if I think of my past life, the certain things will match, but now it is changing.
Because we evolve, Ajay.
Yeah.
Yes, we evolve, but we evolve and we still rotate around these 6 needs. These are 6 needs from human psychology. We rotate around. There could be other values below these needs. These are the bigger umbrella. So all the other values that you live in your world, it could be values of integrity, punctuality, respect, empathy, love, compassion, making a difference. It could be anything. Family, it could be your core value. Making wealth could be. So all of that is driven under these umbrellas.
Maybe you're telling we have shelved it now because it is not appropriate to take it out, that particular inside in me, and we may take it out once we are retired or we have come out of this busy life. That may be there.
Even for a 22-year-old on this call, if there's anybody who's in their 20s, if you identify your core needs right now, students on the call, if you identify your core need right now, your decisions will be based accordingly. And
yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
yes,
your decisions will be based accordingly and you'll not repent those decisions. They might go right or wrong. They might become experiences and learning, but they'll not be something that you're guilty for. They'll not be something that you repent.
But
because they were driven through your core need.
But that's right, ma'am. 21 years old, he's not mature enough to decide about his core needs. No, it's not so easy because he has not seen the life.
That's what your society has given you as a belief. You know the
Uh-huh.
difference between belief and fact is, the fact
Yes.
is, Ajay, and for everybody, fact is sun rises in the east. You
Yes.
know, the fact is 2 + 2 is 4. But beliefs are, oh, women are bad drivers. Really? The
Oh.
beliefs are, a 22-year-old is not mature. Let me share with you, and that's a fact, it's a reality. The group that I belong to, the mastermind that I conduct, and the course that I offer, we have a group of people from international, global presence. One of the child there was 14 years old when that person got trained as a life coach. A 14-year-old got trained as a life coach. By 16, that little kid started giving life coaching, because coaching is not about sharing wisdom. Coaching is about asking powerful questions in a manner that your answers from within come at the surface level. So anybody can learn that. And it definitely is a belief given to us that kids can't be mature.
Oh,
Even
that is,
mature
yeah.
people are childish. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's not a generalized statement to live by.
Correct.
Now,
We
the
have missed
first
it.
thing, yeah, thank you for asking, Ajay. You're asking
Yeah.
good questions, and thanks for participating, others.
Yeah.
Certainty and uncertainty are opposing or can be with the same person, Rubesh is asking. It can be with the same person, but not both of them will be predominant. So if I want certainty in life for 21 years, during that time, I had my children, I raised my kids. I did not switch my job. One of my jobs, I was there for 9 years. Why? Because I wanted certainty at that point in life. And that point in life, that was my need. As you rightly asked, can these needs change? At that time, that was my need. I wanted certainty. But uncertainty is when you want variety. So when you want variety, you might go ahead and check out different things that are in. You might go and explore about artificial intelligence. I now use Chat GPT. I now explore the digital world. Why? Because I need variety. I need to be, up with my game and adapt accordingly. So valid question, but one of this, because these are the only two which are contradictory, one of the two will be the driving force within you in that moment of your life. Now, that was one thing that I wanted you to take through, but one last activity that I planned, and I'll seek Gopi's permission if he allows, was helping you erase one of your past painful memory that might be haunting you and not allowing you to, move ahead in life. Gopi, do I have time?
Hey, please go on, Sheital.
Okay, thank you. Vijaya has found his. He's saying, mine is definitely uncertainty. So you might be an enthusiastic person experimenting in the world. Thank you. So very quickly, I'll take you through an activity. It's kind of a demo, you can say, of living the slide that we saw, the 5 things, the colors, the audio, the sound, the eye factor, the association, the movie, all of those things, and the uniqueness. Now, if our perception, if our memories are stored in our mind, there is a neural pathway that keeps firing those neural, those circuits are getting fired every time this painful memory is bothering you. Now, if you believe that this can be tweaked, distorted, or erased, only then this will work for you. So how many are game for it? How many of you can recall a memory that's bothering you? And let me say this, do not think of grief. Do not think of loss of a loved one, because for that we do a different exercise. These are the exercises from neuro-linguistic programming. And this one definitely is for a memory with not strong or intense emotions. So do not think of so you can think of, like I did this activity with some senior manager who was slapped in the school during the childhood and had a fear of authority, couldn't go to the management now and ask for what his dreams was. So it could be that kind of a memory that you want to erase. Any relationship quarrel, anything that you just want to get rid of. Can we think of one memory, each one of you? Show of hands, thumbs up, chat. Does everyone have one memory that you want to delete? Not the loss of a loved one. Apart from that, any memory that you want to delete today. And now, let me tell you, it's a deletion which is a permanent deletion. Permanent deletion because we're playing with the memory, the map of the world in our mind. So I'll stop the slide share, but I'll read the commands to you, and I'll definitely play some music. So all of you will have to be in a comfortable position. Be in a comfortable position. Sit quietly, and you'll have to close your eyes. You'll have to listen to the commands. There's no rocket science. All it would be doing is automatically things will start happening. The memory will have a different effect altogether. So we'll begin. Think of a memory that you want to erase. And I'll play this music at the background. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Sit comfortable. This is an exercise that we're going to do in order to disassociate with the memory that's not happy memory. It's a painful memory. It's like a garbage in our head that we want to get rid of. Sit comfortably and imagine there is a transparent glass wall in front of you where you are sitting. You're sitting on a chair or a sofa or a couch. There's a transparent glass wall before you at a fair distance. Beyond that glass wall, there is a wooden stool. Keep your eyes closed and visualize. Beyond that glass wall, there is a wooden stool. On this stool, there is a TV set, the older ones, not the LED, but a TV set is placed on the stool. And you have to imagine that the remote of that TV is in your hands. So make a posture with one finger, the index finger and the thumb, to imagine that you're holding the remote of the television. It's a magic remote. Whatever you do to this remote will actually happen. Now just imagine, sitting here, you press a button. You press the button of this remote and you watch that memory in the TV at the sound of this clap. As soon as you hear this clap, the TV is on and that event is playing on the TV like a movie, one scene after the other. The movie is being played. You can see that scene happening. Now imagine that you are pressing the button which mutes the sound of the TV completely, or gradually you're switching down or lowering down the volume button. So imagine the volume line on the TV screen is decreasing to 0. From 10, 9, 8, keep pressing, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You can see the volume button with a cross, red line crossed, it's muted. You can't hear whatever is happening in that event. The sound is completely gone. If you still can hear any noise, imagine you're plugging off the sound cable. Pulled that cable out. The sound wire has been pulled out and the TV is mute now. Now see the event from the beginning. Is there any sound now? There should be no sound. If there's still any sound left, mute it. That magic remote is working for you. Mute it. Now press another button of the remote and turn all the colors into black and white. Deliberately think that the button now that you press has started changing the colors into black and white. The entire event has turned into black and white, and make those images black and white. Once again, watch the event from the beginning till the end very quickly. See that there should be no sound in it. It's muted. You can only see the lips moving. There's nothing that's coming out of the television that you can hear. And it's all black and white. Now, bring that scene on the TV screen which disturbs you the most. Bring that that particular scene in the limelight, in the front. You can have different frames like a film strip shown on the TV. And this one scene which is catching your attention is the most painful, the most disturbing scene. Bring that up on the screen. And imagine that you press a button and suddenly rain starts falling on the still scene. You pause that scene with the button and still that scene. And this rain that's falling on the TV screen is washing away that black and white scene without any audio. Slowly and gradually, it's being washed out, just like the eraser erases a pencil sketch. This scene is getting erased and washed out. Bring that scene up, pause it. This rain is washing it away, and nothing is visible now. For anybody who's struggling to do that, imagine that in older days when there used to be an antenna of the TV and the antenna didn't work properly, there was snowing on the TV, so many white dots that you couldn't see anything. So imagine that there's snowing on the TV, all those white dots, and you can't see any scene of the TV. And if you now begin the event on the TV screen, there should be no sound, nothing should be visible. If there's anything left out, imagine that the rain that was falling, the water is coming out of the TV from the bottom of your feet, and it's just washing away from underneath your feet. It's washing away. There's no scene left. Now there's another magic moment. Finally, when there's no sound, no scene that you can see, imagine you're pressing a button and the TV flies off in the sky from above the screen, and it's flying down. You press the button, see the TV flying up high in the air, through the ceiling, towards the sun, into the air, colliding with the sun, breaking into pieces, let it slide, let it burn into ashes, let it drop off. You can't even see those ashes. Collided, it's completely vanished and gone. Let this TV fly up high in the air. Once you see that TV has disappeared completely, bring back the consciousness on that wooden table. And now you don't see the table even in that room. In that glass transparent wall, the wall suddenly disappears. You can see the room as in that's one room that you are in. Finally, imagine the most beautiful memory of your life. Imagine that event actually being in front of your life, being lived by you. Live that moment in front of you. You're seeing the event with you in that event. It could be birth of a child, it could be your marriage, it could be an achievement, it could be a target achieved, it could be any kind of success, any moment of joy, any moment of achievement. Live that moment in that room where there's just one single room, no table, no glass wall. See what you saw. Make those images bold, bright, 3D, three-dimensional, big, huge, picture size, movie. See what you saw, hear what you heard. That time when the event was happening, what is it that you were listening to? What were people saying? What were you saying? Listen all of that. Feel, go through all those feelings again. Live that moment. If that brings a smile to your face, smile. Smile because you're living that memory again. Relive that moment. Be in that moment as if you were in the memory right now. The factor of association should be colorful, seen, bright and bold. Live that memory, the most beautiful memory of your life. Live that right now. Take a deep breath. See a divine light showering upon you, on your head, in that memory, and blessing you for that memory. Blessing you that you lived that particular memory and you're reliving that moment now. And with a smile on your face, you can open your eyes. Everyone's back again? One question. anybody can say that by unmuting or maybe on the chat. If the intensity of your memory prior to the exercise was on a scale of 1 to 10, if it was, let's say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, any of those numbers, if that was above 5, where do you now see the intensity level? Has it dropped? Yes or no? You can be honest. For some of you, it may have changed. For some of you, it might not. And we know why it would not have, but it can be worked upon again. Has it dropped, people? Has the intensity level of that pain dropped for you? Could you give me a number on the chat, or can anybody share your experience? How did this activity work for you? I'll wrap it up in 5 minutes for sure. On the chat, has the memory intensity decreased? If, let's say, the pain was high, let's say 7, 8, or 9, has it dropped? Yes or no? If it hasn't, you can be honest and give me a no, but I'm not seeing any response. Lost its significance, Chandra says. Okay. Any other comment? Any other experience you'd like to unmute and share quickly? What kind of memory was it? I mean, it should have been a painful memory. Intensity of the pain has come down, Suresh. Okay, thank you. Well, I would like to just brief you that if the memory was on a scale of 6 and above, and it has come down to, let's say, 3, 2, or 1, or even 0, then the tree that was, the roots of the tree that were in your mind deep below, it's been uprooted today. Within 2 to 3 days, the tree will die. The pain of this memory will die. If it's not died right now, you can do this activity by yourself. All those 5 factors should be reversed, should be distorted, and the memory will start disappearing. It can actually happen immediately also. Somebody says, Rubesh says, I couldn't think of a memory that I want to delete. So definitely you can think about it later and you can erase it later. You've learned how to erase it. You've learned that these 5 factors brings those images high, on your mental screen quite closer. You have to just bring put them at far and change all those submodalities. Anybody who would like to learn it in particular can definitely get in touch with me in person, and I'll teach you for free, how to erase it again. And this activity actually tells you that memories can be changed. The mind can be sculpted again. The identity can be formed again, because this gentleman that I worked with could not talk to the management because he had fear of authority in the childhood. The teacher slapped him. He couldn't tell the management that I want to go abroad for my living. But when this activity was done, the person is now, with his family working abroad. So that's how the lives can change. These are the limiting thoughts, memories, or beliefs that doesn't let us go ahead in life. So if we actually work upon them, if we actually reshape our thoughts and learn how to do it, we can definitely live a better life. Now I'm open to any questions. I know we've kind of consumed all the time, but I'm open to any questions. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you found some meaning in the activities that we did and the experiments that we worked upon. Any questions anybody has?
Ma'am, it's nice.
Did you tell too many instructions and too fast? Maybe that was because of the lack of time. Vijay, you can connect with me and we'll do this activity again. So Gopi, you can share my number with everybody who's interested. And I'll also post a link for a form that you can fill in case you want to actually take some suggestions, help, or proper courses in life coaching through me. So Gopi, if you would allow, this is the form that I would like to share.
Yeah, sure. Please share.
I'll put my number here. Any questions, anyone? Or any feedback, any suggestions, any thoughts? How did you like your session? Because you've taken out time on a Sunday morning. I hope I did justice to it.
Ma'am, one small doubt. Ajay here. Hello.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, what I was thinking, the method was very good, but as we come across certain bad memories or what's happening in our life, can we immediately do the same day this practice and then we can erase it, instead of keeping it in that within us?
Why not? Try it.
Painful memory.
You can try, definitely, because this is science, Ajay. This is not an alternate therapy or something. It's science. The images are being formed due to those five senses. We are tweaking the mental model of that image. We are distorting it completely.
So if you don't take it, ma'am, if you let go, leave it. This all happens and I'll forget about it and we can go ahead. No, so that's it. I feel so I don't have anything in memory where I couldn't recollect it.
Which means they are not such strong. They're not that strong. So you can let it be. Major Narayanan has raised hand. First of all, I'd like to thank you for recommending me for this session. So it's only because of you that I'm here. Thank you for trusting me, and go on, please.
Major sir, go on, sir.
Yeah, so thoroughly interesting session. I've been able to pack the session with a lot of insights on the fascinating world of neuro-linguistic programming, her own anecdotes, and a lot of other powerful methodologies, modalities, and all of this has been based on science. And I, for one, would be able to, I'm quite happy that I have given her name or referred to her, and most of us have been able to reap the benefit. I thoroughly enjoyed the program. I was traveling, so I was not able to stay connected throughout. But in the long run, I've been able to understand that I've been able to see the undercurrent of thoughts among the participants. They've been able to enjoy the session in the way that it was meant to be. All the best, Sheital.
Thank you so much, Major. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. My regards to you for sure. Thank you. Any other question, anyone?
Yeah, participants, you may please unmute and ask your questions, please. Arun, Sanjay, Vichu, Vishnath.
Ajay says it was totally different aspect to learn and as a useful tool in life to go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks,
Chandra. Thank you, Rupesh. Thank you.
Gopi, can I have this contact number?
Yeah, sure. I'll give. Kumar?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'll give. I'll send you the number.
See, there are so many other aspects of mind programming and thoughts. We do work on value system and a value matrix a lot of times so that people actually base their decisions on the values that they live by, what drives them. So there could be other topics that we can cover in future if you really would be interested. I'll not mind that. And anybody who's interested in a life coaching session, I gave a gift today. I want to announce a gift, Gopi.
Yeah, sure.
I would like to announce that for any 5 people who are really interested in their transformation, and believe me, it's irrespective of age, because any age group in the 20s or even in their 60s, people can learn to discover themselves and still become better. So anyone who would like to go through a transformation journey and really want to invest in it, there's a personality assessment that we conduct. It definitely has a cost attached to it. But for 5 people who genuinely want to go through a transformation journey by investing in it, I'll offer that $100 test to 5 people free today. For that, you can fill up the form that I have shared on the chat window. I'll share that again. Just share your details on that form. And any 5, or let's say first 5 to, okay, someone's filled the form already. So do let me know through the form or through the contacting me that you're interested in investing in your transformation, because that would be a course then you'll have to enroll upon. I can share the details later. But 5 people, the gift to you is the personality assessment that tells you who you are. That's a big question. People do really want to know, who am I? So I have a personality assessment towards that. Anyone's interested?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yeah, ma'am. I forgot. I always I don't know how I forgot some days. You told ma'am the training feel things like that. I always forgot it.
Hello,
I don't know how I do that, ma'am. Is it a good thing or a bad thing, ma'am?
It depends what kind of memory it is. It's always good to forget the fights that you have with your, friend circle or your family members. It's not It's not necessary to always have a good memory. For some people, it's good to forget things that you should not get hooked to. You should not get anchored to bad memories. But for trainings and stuff which needs your growth, which leads to your learning and growth, definitely you need a good memory. How do you create a good memory is by incorporating those 5 factors in the learning. Nowadays, if you see, even schools are adopting the methods of experimental or experiential learning, which means that they will make the kids to visualize. Even numbers can have a respective visual to it. I don't want to go into the details, but yes, if you learn with a visual of the learning or a story, the brain will recall it faster. And the more you repeat it, repetition is the key. So more you repeat it, the neural pathway that has been formed will fire more frequently. Vijaya, you have a question. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Please do.
Please.
Yeah. Actually, it doesn't make sense to just accept whatever comes your way. And I mean, so that you have an equanimity in your approach instead of trying to bend, because that way you will avoid disappointments. You just slowly have the maturity to accept things as it is, and not try to slot yourself in a certain way or certain, because what is a priority today may be a totally different priority depending on family circumstances. I just want your comment. Doesn't it make sense to just accept gracefully whatever happens in life, not fight against it, and just move with the tide, keep moving? Isn't it a better way to manage stress and things like that?
Absolutely, it is a better way. Thanks for sharing that, Vishwanath. See, that's how, the experienced people share their wisdom. I totally buy your point. And the reason is, the more you disassociate with things that should not bother you or they should not be detrimental in your progress, actually. So the easier it is for you to disassociate yourself, the faster you will move ahead in life. But the more you hook onto it, that's where problem lies. And that's where these, exercises help you to deliberately disassociate. It's not easy, Vishwanath. You rightly said that, it's a wise thing to do. But are we all able to do it or not is the challenge. The ones who are not able to do it will benefit from this exercise. But accepting the things the way it is a big question. It's not easy. Ask the youngsters on the call. Are they accepting their breakups easily? Are they expecting their grades easily? Are they expecting that they're still figuring out their careers and not making, the right move? It's becoming a little difficult with the kind of pressure we are living in the digital world today, the social media world today. That pressure has to be released. So it's good to learn an exercise that can help you release your pressure. I hope that makes sense, if you agree. You do.
Yeah, Vijay Kumar.
Vijay Kumar, you've raised hand.
Vijay Kumar is joining from UK.
Hi, Gopi. Good morning. Gopi,
morning,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. I follow Sheital. I follow Gopi for quite some time. Sent a lot of invites. I never attended, but today morning I woke up at 4:45 to attend the session. It's really very interesting. I have no regrets of getting up at 4:45 and attending the session. And it's very interesting. I would like to take up the offer what you've given. And what I like to learn is, Sheital, like now I associate myself with a bad memory. Okay, or a poor memory. Okay, if I feel like now if I have a good memory, like now I could have achieved more. Like now really I want to achieve more. It's not that I regret, but still I want to use my full potential. So probably something like to get a training or some sort of help from you, Sheital.
I'll definitely help you with the trainings that I offer. You can connect with me one-on-one. I did leave my number on the chat. Leave that again. And we can discuss. Personal one-on-one cases we can discuss, and we can definitely move ahead.
Number, what is your number, ma'am?
Did you see that on the chat?
It's there in the chat box.
I've just put it on the chat box.
Suraj is there in the chat box, Suraj.
I've also put up a form, a Google form link, so that you can fill your credentials, your details, so that if you miss, I'll reach out to you.
9101.
And 5 people I'm gifting the personality test. Believe me, it's a 99.9% correct personality assessment test, and it costs $100. which I'm giving you from my quota.
Okay.
For the ones who are interested
please.
in investing in a transformative journey.
I'm just.
Suraj, yes.
Yes, I am not. I have been experienced. I immediately or after 2-3 days, any bad memory, I completely wash myself. I have been in practice, and whatever the circumstances given me, and I accommodate accordingly.
Wonderful.
And,
how do you do that? Would you like to share?
Yeah, it's an automatic process. And I in Hindi, I am from Hindi. So in Hindi में I है कि लक्ष्य तो दृढ़ थे मेरे, हर घटना अचानक हो गई और कितना संवारे ये जिंदगी एक बिखरा कथानक हो गई. This was so this
well
was
said, Suraj.
Well said. And thank you for all you have given the new experiments for me, and I'm really hope to join you.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure and honor to address such a varied audience, such a wise audience.
And thanks to Gopi ji for giving me.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me, and thank you for taking out your time. Thank you, Gopi, for all the things that we discussed to and fro, for the flyers and all of that, for your support and for your invite. And I look forward to addressing more sessions. Someone's asking, where am I based? I'm based in Delhi. Vijay, I'm based in Delhi.
Thank you, Sheital. Hello.
It was lovely hosting all of you. Yes, Rupesh?
One last one, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. What Suraj said, the same thing is happening, ma'am. Like when I face some bad memory, when I move on, it gets erased easily. I don't know how it does, but I don't know how, ma'am.
It's such a valid question, Rupesh. You move on, but the memory didn't, get erased. It's taken a space in your mind, in your. If it's like, say, a storage box, a file cabinet, the memory is just a file placed in that cabinet. And all those cabinets are full now, or maybe not all of them have been consumed, but the ones that are full, there are some where it's termites, and you have to just take them out and throw them away. These are the memories that you have to get rid of, because those cabinets have termites now. Deemak lag gaya un pe. That's a garbage you need to get rid of. You feel that you have moved on, but the memory has not been washed. The way the memory was perceived, it has to be undone to be erased. So get in touch with me and I'll help you with that.
Okay, ma'am, but I cannot recall what is that bad memory.
Okay, I'll work with you. Don't worry. You're making it complicated. Don't make it complicated. It's doable. It's workable. You're not in a fix. It's quite human to understand it that way. That's the perception you've created. So it's possible.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. If there are any further questions, I'm here. Else, bye-bye to all of you. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me patiently.